These things are the scourge of the planet, and they are everywhere. They always end up in the trash, even if you don't intend to. You can recycle them, of course, but inconvenient to say the least, and you can't throw them in your regular, you know, recycle stream because they won't take them. So, I gotta figure there's something better you can do with this stuff. It's high density polyethylene these are made out of, and you know, you should be able to do something with them. So, to that end, I happened to get my hands on a couple cans of heavily discounted xylene, and I'm going to try and dissolve the plastic bags in the xylene. And once we get enough plastic bag in there in solution, we'll see if we can do something with it. I don't know, paint your boat or something. So, gonna get this set up and see how this goes. I'm not actually sure this will even dissolve in that, but we'll give it a try. Alright, so this is a heating plate and stir dealio, so which is kind of nice. So I can actually heat the solution up because it might not just dissolve on its own. In fact, I probably suspect it won't. And I have a stir bar here. It's not a very big vessel, but you know, we'll start with a couple bags and see if we can get them in solution and go from there. So we'll add a little of the xylene. I'm doing this outside in the lovely outdoors because xylene is nasty shit, and I would prefer not to get the cancer. So we'll do it where there's lots of ventilation. Alright. And I'm going to turn it on to stir here. The motor on this is not so great anymore, and it takes a little while to warm up. We will start with, what do we got here? Raw stress for less into the soup. We'll do a couple to start maybe. And I'm gonna let that, until we get that stirring, maybe I'll just leave it at that, because we may not end up being able to turn that little bar there. Is this even on? Okay, we're going to put some heat on it as well. Actually, maybe we won't. If I come back in an hour and it's got nothing going on, then we'll throw some heat in. It's been over an hour. I got no chooch going on here. Those bags are pretty stable in there, so I think we're going to need to kick up the heat a bit. So I'll turn it on and see how that changes the situation. Okay, well, this is a little more encouraging, wouldn't you say? We are definitely getting some dissolution of this plastic bag. There's not a lot of pressure in there, which is nice. I'm not sure what the temperature of this solution is. That might be something I want to find out. I don't know. Anyway, it's quite milky, so it's quite nice. We'll just let this go and see if it'll clear up or what was going to happen to it. Maybe we can get the rest of that bag in there. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Those bags are gone, and there is some sort of, I don't know what that is. It's not a precipitate, I don't think. Bottom, maybe it has something to do with this cooking. It's quite warm, so I'm gonna actually knock the heat down a bit, or a lot actually, because I don't know that it needs to be that hot. And you can see that there's like a jelly-ish substance at the top there. It's probably melted plastic bag. So I guess the thing now is more bags. Need more bags. So we'll just jam more in there. We'll see if we can saturate this solution completely. Alright, we've got a total of 6 bags in there now. So we'll see if we can get those to disappear. This is fucking awesome. Let's hope this is actually going to be useful at the end. Alright, it would appear that it's not going to choke down 6 bags. There's still a plug of bag in there that's just not dissolving. So instead of adding more xylene, I think I'm just going to decant off the liquid and what? I may just pour it into a mold or something and just let it flash off and dry up and see what happens to it. All right, I think I'm going to decant it into this partially mangled beer can. And oh, I'm going to get gloves. Just wait. All right. So we'll try and leave the chunks behind. Oh, it's a little hot too. Oh, that's yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh, I just broke my jar. So there you go. Rapid cooling, people. Okay. Nevertheless, we got our goods here. So we'll just stick this over here and let that cure. And then clean up the fucking mess. Alright, this is the 5 grocery bags dissolved in xylene and then decanted, and then you just sat around for like a week. And you can see there's still liquid in there. Yeah, it smells bad still. This is clearly not the right way to do anything with this, but interesting nonetheless. Now, what I want to do here is I'm just going to put this out in the sun and see if I can't get this to evaporate completely off, dry out a little bit, and then we'll see what kind of consistency this mess is. It's interesting, it's still holding its shape. I thought it would collapse, but it seems okay. So, into the sun. Alright, so a day in the sun turned my lump of jelly into a little plastic puck. It's reasonably solid, and it's got a little bit of give to it, but not a tremendous amount. I'd like to cut it open and see what the interior of that is like. I shall do that. Alright. Wow. Wow. That's actually quite cool. It looks delicious, to tell you the truth. It cuts like a soft piece of rubber maybe, or a slightly dense marshmallow, something like that consistency. It's very easy to cut. And, geez, it seems to be like, what would you call that? Like a laminar layers. Maybe that's because the plastic is not 100% dissolved, and then those flakes simply settle out like sediment and get compacted down as it sits. Maybe. And there was a lot of evaporation going on yesterday, so that may have something to do with it too. So, but anyway, another thing to note is that there is a exterior layer, like a little ridge around the whole thing, like the candy outside for the marshmallow inside, and that's definitely more rigid, and yeah, it's not quite the same. Now, maybe what will happen is this will dry out and we'll end up with something a little bit harder later on. So I think we'll just let this sit and see what happens. Right now it's kind of squishy, and it still stinks a little bit like xylene, so you know, clearly there's still some solvent in there. But yeah, let's leave it for a little while longer and see if that hardens up. Alright, so it's been about 24 hours, and the little plastic puck now is hard as a frozen hot dog. So any of that mushiness that was present before was obviously just residual xylene that was in the matrix here. So what's this good for? Fucking nothing, I would say. Maybe I could try and cast something out of this. It's definitely, you know, it's hard. It's quite hard, actually. I wonder how hard that would be to cut. Let's give her a go. Yeah. Okay, it does cut. I find those layers fascinating, though. That's pretty cool. Kind of waste of resources, you know, considering how much xylene goes into this thing. But, you know, in a pinch, it might be worth something. So what's this stuff good for? Probably not fucking much. But, one thing is it's super lightweight. Like, it's really light. And, you know, it's got some rigidity. And
The only problem with working with it I see is it's the shrinkage issue. Like this stuff shrinks down crazy amounts, right? So I don't know how you would cast it into something useful. Anyway, just stick it on the back burner. You never know when it might come in handy, right? I don't know. Probably not. But anyway, now you know what happens when you melt plastic bags in xylene for whatever that's worth. Thanks for watching. Cheers.